Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorna's story. We're going to pick up right where we left off as Lorna and her team are being escorted toward Baron Melio's estate by Triumph. As you're making your way through the city, let's go ahead and pull up the map. You are passing through Murky Point, heading toward the Seven Hills, going around the city walls with Triumph leading the way. This big ol' honkin' Goliath is not one for small talk, it appears. But as you're walking beside you, Skolna says, "Are you sure we can trust them?"
I don't know about trust, but I believe him when he says their job is to enforce their values, and I believe him when he says that the Ashitari consider consent the highest pillar of mortal and immortal interaction. And I don't think Karcerix subscribes to that.
There's a long pause. Ma let him feed when he brought Hayes.
From her.
Yeah.
That may have been consensual, but what he wanted from you wasn't.
But he didn't feed.
He wanted to. And when he got no, he did something vile. It might not be, as Miss Achitari said, to the letter of their law, but it's not something that we're going to let slide just because they can't enforce it.
I'm just worried they might not do anything at all, and we're back to where we started.
I think we still have a good plan whether we get their help or not, but if they can't help us, the least they can do is not hinder us, which is the hope.
What I'm worried about is the number of people learning what we plan. More ears, more mouths.
I understand. Only people who need to know are going to know. We'll try to make that judgment call. We'll see how much Karcerix has scorned to this person they're taking us to. And go from there.
Ahead of you.
They, she.
Ahead of you, Triumph says, "I know this might be hard to believe. We are good at keeping secrets. Also, we are better at speaking quietly in public." He looks over his shoulder at you and Skolna, and he says, "Consent or not, the use of force and control, while it's not against the letter of our law, it is frowned upon. And while Achitari might not call for the beheading on those grounds, there's nothing in our law that says a mortal cannot try to take back their dignity.
That's all we want.
We are not the guard. We are the regulation of kindred. Because we know who the real monsters are." And he doesn't say anything else and just keeps walking. Skolna doesn't seem very reassured. But she does reach over and squeeze your hand.
Mm-hmm. Lorna will squeeze back.
I hope you're right.
I'm doing what I believe is right.
You always have, and that's why we're still here.
So give Skolna's hand another squeeze.
Are you crying?
No, I swallowed wrong.
Okay, I was like, it's already.
I swallowed my ginger ale cranberry wrong.
Okay. With Triumph leading the way, you are not accosted by any pickpockets, though seeming is still
Hooray.
up. Yeah, it seems as though he has a presence that the city
He
is
does.
aware of.
You big boy.
Your party makes your way towards the Melio estate, which it turns out is a brewing company. The Baron Melio, the Barony, the front of it is a massive, what looks like a meadery. Big brick building with like these huge stacks, and as you're approaching, it just smells of honey. It smells of honey and alcohol, and it's a very appetizing scent. It's impossible not to be on this street and not just feel hungry like immediately, even if you're not. It's as though you've just walked into a fresh bakery, except instead of bread is the smell of honey. The building itself, the meadery itself is called the $1 Million Bottle.
Ooh.
And as Triumph is heading up, you see Reverie is right outside the front door, having a conversation.
Fast.
Yes, having a conversation with what looks like the doorman or some sort of front person. You see there are other individuals that are not the passersby, and they are dressed well, and they are standing outside the meadery, just, kind of at ease, but they notice you. And Lilith, next to you, says, "They're all vampires. They're all of these.
Yo, you can tell.
Yeah. All of them."
Whew.
And Triumph says, "Kindred. They're all kindred. Don't say vampire. They will kill you." It's like,
Kindred.
kindred. Right. Kindred. It's very rude.
Lorna, inwardly is like, I have no idea why, but sure, why not? Let's take his advice. He seems on the up and up.
As you're approaching, Reverie says, "Ah, and here they are now. I told you they'd be just as quick as they could be." And the front man, goes inside. Triumph basically, steps up next to Reverie, and Reverie says, "Baron Melio has found the time in his schedule, particularly when it comes to taking out a potential rival, and so he's quite interested in hearing what it is you have to say. We'll be waiting out here. This is no longer our business. We are not supposed to get our fingers in the sticky bits, but I've done everything in my power. The rest is on you, so good luck."
Thank you, Sagittari.
Oh, this is also very interesting. And for a fellow daughter of Vicar, what can I do but my best?
Maybe we'll meet again.
Oh, certainly. And Reverie and Triumph basically step off the porch, and they go onto the road, and they are having a conversation. The front man reappears. "You are the mercenaries in question?
That's right.
Please follow me."
She will.
The instant you enter this building, it's clear it's a meadery first. The door you enter, and there's a really high roof with these very tall, iron wrapped wooden kilns, casks, with all this piping running between them. And there's halflings and dwarves and humans that are clearly probably not kindred, bustling about back and forth.
Here.
They're just doing their jobs. The front man, who is he's a pale human. You get the impression he's Terraconan from his just the coloration and complexion. But he speaks with an Aurelian accent, so it's all over the place.
Sure.
Why not? He's leading the way into the building, and he goes behind this small counter that looks more like it's a kitchen counter. It looks very out of place. He goes past it, and he keeps waiting for you to follow him until he goes through this big door. You go through it, and you are suddenly in not an office, but like a sitting room. And on the entire, like the wall immediately to your right as you enter, bottles. Dozens and dozens of bottles, all of them labeled $1 million mead. Of various like makes, and they're all sorts of colors and stuff. And as the front man like gestures for you to enter, he says, "Can I offer you all a refreshment?"
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
We
I
can't
think I'd
step
love to
into
taste what you have to offer.
we step into a meadery. We gotta try it, right? And the front man just smiles and nods. And he, like, while you're waiting for this Baron to show up, he basically, like, gives each of you a very, very, like, icy cold golden bottle that is very weighty. Like, the bottle itself seems like it was hand blown. Like, this is all fucking fancy shit. As it's happening, you're all given a bottle of this fine $1 million mead. And you're basically showed where to sit.
Okay.
As you are, you basically find some comfort in the hospitality of this barony. And as you're sipping at the mead, it's not strong, but it's mellow and it's delicious. It tastes more like you're drinking almost like butterscotch.
Does Lorna know that vampires, kindred, they're not supposed to eat or drink, right?
Roll a history check. You did research them a bit.
True. 24.
You know that a vampire or a kindred they're not supposed to drink or eat regular food. It's part of the curse of being a vampire. But they can force themselves to mimic the functions of a person using what they call the blush of life. So they can, for a short period of time, pretend.
She's just wondering how they like landed on their signature taste. Like, did a kindred decide on that, or did they have like a mortal do the tasting, the sampling?
I mean, these are questions you could ask.
She's speculating. Like, it's just more of a time passer than crucial information she needs to get from this Baron.
Despite the lack of burn, because it seems like it's a fairly low alcohol, Lilith says, "Oh, I love this. This is good." As she seems to be professing her new admiration with this mead, a tiefling enters the room.
Ooh. He cute.
As he does, he just smiles at all of you, pulls like an overstuffed chair away from the fireplace and twists around and sits down in it opposite all of you. He lights a cigar and just seems to like look at you all for a long moment. Good morning.
Good morning, Baron Emilio.
You know me.
I've heard from the sheriff.
She is certainly industrialist. And you are?
She kind of like looks at Nora. Can you drop the seeming? Maybe we should be forthright.
Can she drop the seeming? I don't know. Hold on.
We just stuck like this.
Oh, she can dismiss it as an action. So she does.
Great.
She dismisses the seeming.
It falls away, and she, kind of adjusts her hair, and she says, my name is Lorna. We're here on personal business that might align with an interest of yours.
That is what Reverie was telling me, Lorna. You all are quite a diverse group, aren't you? It's nice to see a pair of my kind amongst you. And she looks at Lilith and Skolna. Skolna is anxious. Like, she
Yeah.
is standing behind the couch that you guys are sitting on. She's kind of like doing the anxious dance where she's like
Fiddling.
leaning on one foot to the next and looking at the exits and stuff like that. As Reverie might have informed you, I am Baron Davin Melio. Please refer to me as Davin.
Davin, it's nice to meet you.
Everybody introduces himself. After introductions, he says, please, if you wouldn't mind, why don't you tell me what interest you have in Baron Menigdala?
Well, it's a personal matter, but he has scorned one of us and therefore all of us in such a way that we are interested in his downfall.
Oh, that is delicious.
I heard that you would benefit potentially in some boon with his removal.
Mr. Karcerix has always been aggressive in his methods. And the fact that an individual that he might have wronged has come back to bite him is so... Well, it's what all of us who follow times hope will happen. Almost as a, we told you so. You understand? It's just...
It's karma.
It is the way our universe balances itself between right and wrong and good and bad. And those of us who walk the gray lines in between love to see those who cross it break and fall. I would be delighted to assist. And I think I know the way. Baron Karcerix Menigdala has been having interest in a certain structure that belongs to me and my property. Now, Baron Karcerix happens to run a fairly successful brothel and hospitality business a few blocks eastward. There's no accounting for taste, but we make our money how we can, and when you live as long as we do, you find money in the strangest places. What you do have, well, not all of us, what you should have an unlimited amount of is time to make that money with. Mr. Karcerix made an offer to me for a certain textile business front, a tailor. He wished to purchase it and work as a employer for the tailor there. That business is 2 blocks eastward, 1 block northward. You'll know it immediately as the Stitch's Edge. That business, well, it's fairly isolated. It's in a comfortable place in the alleys behind these big businesses. It is a business that hasn't done very well for me, but the owner, well, let's just say I owe him a favor. So, if I were to arrange a meeting with Karcerix behind the business to maybe discuss purchasing options, except instead of me, it's you, well, I think that might be a nice, isolated occasion away from the eyes of the guards that whatever foul deeds that might befall Mr. Karcerix don't have to be of the interest of anybody else.
I think that's an excellent idea. I'm all prepared for it. I just needed a location.
Oh. Well, then, I think we're going to work marvelously well together. I'm not going to ask the specifics or particulars as to which of you was scorned. One can make their assumptions. It's clear to me that you are not a native Nosian.
No.
whoever it is that will be pretending to be me, they must be able to perform. At least a little bit. Just to get him comfortable enough.
Mm-hmm. Get him to stand on the right spot.
Oh, that specific, are we?
Well, it'd be nice. A 10-foot by 10-foot area is big enough.
I see. Well, I'm sure you'll find a suitable location within the alleys. I'll let you go and peruse them when you have a moment. They are well isolated. You might find the occasional stray unaccounted for whilst you are investigating. You see, this region is not so well patrolled. Just be careful. I cannot speak as to how well our streets are guarded from errant, unclaimed kindred. These things happen. However, I suspect with Mr. Karcerix being dealt with, a lot of these strays will magically disappear. As if their source is no longer wrongfully turning people and not being claimed for it. I would much rather that brothel be something else as well. Doesn't need to be so seedy up here.
Sure. I think that this will work out well for both of us.
Good. Then my front man, Darren, he will show you the way. I will send a runner. How much time do you need to prepare?
24 hours in advance would be nice. It has... The encounter with him needs to happen within 24 hours of our preparation of the area for the magic that is going to be placed to work.
Mm-hmm.
So once I set it, it can happen between... I would prefer a night's rest, just so I am on the up and up after expending so much power.
So tomorrow morning, then?
That would be perfect.
Good. That way, it maintains the unspoken promise of our business dealings occurring during daylight. It is a known rule between kindred that we do this work while the suns are up, so that we're all at an equal disadvantage.
But not us.
No, I imagine you, with all that mortal blood in you, are going to be just fine.
Do you think he'll be bringing an entourage with him?
Oh,
how many?
He will certainly have his own protection. Probably his second hand, another kindred, as well as perhaps a few ghouls just to establish a perimeter. But that is generally what you'd expect.
Do you think, as far as guards go, notion guards, do you think we'll need to head that off as a look the other way issue, or do you think it won't be a problem?
Oh, they don't come up here.
Excellent.
We don't
need to worry about that.
I don't know how things have been in the past, but within the last year or so, this place has become kindred only.
Right.
So, I mean, I will say that was a remarkable disguise to look like tasty morsels. It might be in your best interest to appear more, diseased. Or...
She kind of like looks at Nora and nods.
Nora just shrugs and goes, all right. Or just, a little better at defending yourself.
Do you know how many pickpockets I had to fend off in the Murky Point?
At least a few, I'm certain.
It was at least a few.
Are you out any coin?
No.
We do offer loans if you need them.
Oh, thank you so much for the generous offer.
Of course. I look forward to hearing the pleasant news of your success and the unfortunate end of one Mr. Menigdala.
Truly unfortunate.
Let me tell you, I've been looking for an excuse.
I'm able to cast sending, so if need be, I will be in touch. Will you be able to reach me?
Oh, I have my methods.
Do you have a time of morning that you think that you will be letting him know the meeting is going to take place?
9 in the morning is the typical business time. Or when things are dramatic, we say sunup. But I think 9.
Okay.
You can plan on that.
9. Since you're speculating that one of us should look like you, just to get the conversation started,
Oh, yes.
who would you bring with you to a meeting like this so that the rest of us can look the part?
Well, Devon, that's for sure.
Right.
Let's see. Rekios. Meredith. Aldenar. A group of 4, I think. And he does, he gestures to who they are and the basics so that if you needed to disguise as them, you could. But I don't know if you could tell. I am the one doing most of the negotiating. So whoever it is that is disguised as me must be comfortable speaking as I might.
Lorna looks at Nore. Did you change your voice?
She nods.
That'll be her.
I'm sure I can manage. And her voice, it still has the Terraconan accent just a bit, but it has a very similar timbre to...
Sure. Enough to get by for a few seconds.
Yeah. My goodness, is that what I sound like?
Yeah.
Nore just shrugs and says, I'll get it better. With that, Baron Melios stands up. Davin, show them around. Enjoy the drinks. Take more if you'd like.
Wonderful, by the way.
I'm sorry?
I said your meat is wonderful, by the way.
Oh, thank you. We've been working centuries to get it right.
Or we'll definitely take a couple more and toss them in her bag.
It seems as though you are smiled upon as you do so. Go ahead and add 5 bottles of $1 Million Mead.
$1 million mead.
The symbol, which is that of a dollar, is like the strange horse head symbol that is of Malachor. And with that, the Baron leaves the room, and his front man, which now that you're getting a better look at him, he's clearly Terraconan. He just is waiting for you all to be ready, and he says, "How much time do you need to prepare?"
It'll take me at least an hour to cast one of these spells. Let me double check the casting time of the other ones. We had everything figured out except the location, so this has been fortuitous. That's going to take an hour. That doesn't need to be cast. And that takes 10 minutes. We need at least an hour and 10 minutes to cast everything we need to ahead of time.
An hour and 10 minutes. Well, I will show you where the Stitch's edge is, and you can maybe judge where, how, and why. And
Understood.
he leads the way out of the room. You leave the Meliometery and head to the alleys, which is not far.
Can Nore do seeming again?
Yeah. Yes, she can.
Or are we gonna... Okay, good. And can she make us a little more leprous?
Hold on. I actually need to make sure she has the spell slots for it. She might not be able to do it again.
She has a staff of replenishment that can restore up to a 5th level.
Seeming is a 5th level. Yeah, she'll do that. She'll get that spell slot back
Woo!
and cast it again. All right, so she makes you look more middle class, but more disease-ridden. Everyone just looks tired.
We all look a little sick.
Yeah, everyone just looks unwell. Not hideous, plague-ridden, but clearly fever going around.
We're gonna roll up to the shanty band, and the dwarf is gonna be like, "Ew, you're all gross now."
Yeah.
Just like us even more.
Okay. So I'm gonna place you guys on the map, and you can determine where you're doing this. Let me just put you on the map. All right.
Malacali's.
What?
Oh, Brick. I said Malacali's, Malachor alleys.
Oh,
Excuse me.
yes. Okay. Bless you. So you are instructed that this building, this blue building right north of you, is the Stitch's Edge.
Got it. Let's see. Can Lorna just kind of peruse up and down the alley?
Yeah, go ahead. Move yourself. You can look around.
Ooh, this is a good dead end right here. She can get him at the mouth, maybe? Okay. Just rolling through. As Lorna is looking around, can she just think to Vicar? I didn't know the Sheriff of Malachor was a patron of yours.
I have many patrons, many places.
She seems nice. She's going to help us on this little endeavor, or has helped us.
Oh, she is oddly good-hearted in the strangest times.
And is a kindred. Did you meet her like that?
No, I was there for her turning, actually.
Oh.
Well, I wasn't there.
I hope it's what she
but
wanted.
You understand.
Sure.
I don't think she knew what she wanted.
Is she related to the Nadashti family?
Hold on. Deceptive.
She looks like her sisters. They're her sisters, right?
They are related. She has been a great source of information for me, whether she knows it or not.
I'm sure none of us know to what extent.
It's true. That is part of the deal.
It was just an observation. I wasn't going to press further. I was just wondering.
I did not suspect you were trying to swindle me.
She finishes her walkabout and she comes back to the group and she says, "I think I found the spot," and ushers them this way.
Okay. Your party follows you.
Go all of them go. I think the mouth of this alley is perfect. It kind of gets them one on either, like, they only have the sides and potentially the rooftops if they get their people up there, but it kind of forces him to walk in if we're in the middle of the alley, so I can set up the trap at the mouth of it.
Oh, sure. So we get them to come into the alley and then spring it.
As soon as they're in there.
Skolna can be up on the rooftops. Drop down.
Tier 2.
Oh, if Tier doesn't have to be on guard duty, yeah, he can be above.
Exactly, we can have Tier for this. The rest of us could hide back here because it's a dead end.
Tactically, it seems perfectly sound. I like the way it looks.
And do you have a butt?
He said that he would have had 4 with him. We got to determine, like, which of us are... I mean, Nore's probably going to be looking like...
Nore, for sure, because she's going to be looking like the Baron. Skolna and Tier on the roof, and maybe Burke back in the alley, and the rest of us up with the talker.
Hey, Tier, you feel comfortable hiding from a kindred up there? And Tier looks over and says, yeah, I could hide on a roof. I mean, what's the worst that happen? They see me and I die, and that'll be it, so...
Well, no one's dying. We haven't a diamond. Everyone try not to die.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's an order from your captain. So when we were talking about my plan initially, we wondered if our target would be able to see the glyph and prevent himself from stepping on it. But I looked a little deeper, and if he has some sort of detect magic, it can't see through. Hold on, I had the list of things. It can't see through, or it can't penetrate a barrier of a foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. Can she see? Is this cobblestone?
Yeah, it's cobblestone with a layer of dirt over it.
She looks at Anscombe. If we mold earth a foot down, place the glyph, and put the earth back on top, he won't be able to detect it by detect magic. If he has something more powerful, we can't account for that, but he wouldn't be able to see it.
Would glyph still activate?
I don't think it wouldn't. Let me double check. Where are you? Glyph reporting. Glyph is nearly imperceptible and requires a successful wisdom perception check against your spell save DC. When you inscribe the glyph, you set its trigger and choose whether it's explosive or a spell glyph. I already know that. Set the trigger. You decide what triggers the glyph when you cast it. For glyphs inscribed on a surface, common triggers include touch, stepping on the glyph, removing another object covering it, or approaching within a certain distance of it. For glyphs inscribed on an object, common triggers include opening the object or seeing the object. Once a glyph is triggered, the spell ends. You can refine the triggers that only creatures of certain types activated. For example, if the glyph could be set to affect aberrations, you can cast set conditions for creatures that don't trigger the glyph, such as those who say a certain password. Spell glyph. You can store a prepared spell of level 3 or lower in the glyph by casting it as part of creating the glyph. The spell must target a single creature or an area. The spell being stored has no immediate effect when cast in this way. When the glyph is triggered, the stored spell takes effect. If the spell has a target, it targets the creature that triggered the glyph. If the spell affects an area, the area is centered on that one creature. It doesn't say... So I would set it to the presence of Karcerix, specifically. In proximity.
Once he gets to a certain distance, it goes off.
Right. And I'd want him to be on the glyph, because that's where the magic circle is going to be triggered.
Okay. It works for me. Aye, it sounds good enough.
Then I'll get started. Anscombe, if you could help me clear this spot. And the rest of you, could you just kind of keep an eye out? Make sure we're not drawing any attention. Or anyone's noticed us or anyone's watching us.
I'll go have a word with the tailor. Let him know something's going on.
Okay.
And Loeth goes into the clothing shop. You are casting Magic Circle in a glyph.
Yes.
Like 2 feet below the surface of the road.
1 foot.
1
because
foot.
stone just needs to be 1 foot.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Anscombe helps you do it. It's no big deal. Tier climbs up on this rooftop. Gets like a lookout of the area. Skolna does the same on this one. As these two are looking out.
questions?
I did not expect that, the Kindred might have rules about this sort of thing. I don't know why I didn't think that. I guess I've never really looked into it before, but it makes sense that they'd have a problem if they're trying to be, discreet in plain sight.
It makes sense. I'm glad some of them have morals.
I've never really worked around them or with them before. Aside from, well, I did. That doesn't really count. The thing with, what did she say her name was?
Evelyn.
Evelyn? I made it invisible. It's still there.
Ah, gotcha.
Skolna across the rooftop is like looking down at the ground. She quietly says, if it was like this before, if I had come back here before, and all these kindred would have tried to get involved, I would have tried to kill them too. I would have been so angry that they just let it happen.
I'm glad you waited for us to help you.
Yeah.
And that you trusted me to put this together.
She looks at you. She just shrugs and says, You trusted me first. She doesn't say anything else.
Lorna accepts that is her prerogative. She spends an hour and 10 minutes because she casts the glyph, and the casting time of the magic circle also corresponds in addition to that.
At some point,
And
Lorf does leave the shop, and she just gives a thumbs up. There is some passersby that are going through the main streets. They don't really come in the back alleys here. There is one instance where, like, some kids approach the alley, and Nore quickly creates an illusion of, like, the buildings around you covering you up, and the kids just keep going. They don't seem to pay any notice. But other than that, you're not disturbed. These alleys are fairly quiet. I rolled a D100 to see how much interaction you got, and I rolled a 7. So,
woo! Nothing.
Nothing.
So I missed the cast time of this doesn't take as long as it's going to be an hour and 20 minutes because Private Sanctum also takes 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And initially when I wrote my plan for this, the Private Sanctum was only going to be on the spot of the magic circle, but I'm actually going to change that to have a wider radius.
Okay.
So it's a cube that can be as small as 5 by 5, as small as 5 feet by 5 feet to as large as 100 by 100 feet.
Okay.
She is going to, let me put a cube down. Let's see how big I want that to be. Oops. Ugh.
That's a big
okay,
cube.
good. A cube. Yeah, that's a good idea. And everything in that cube, sound can't pass through the barrier at the edge of the worded area. So any fight noises that happen in here will not be audible. Sensors created by divination spells can't appear inside the protected area or pass through the barrier at its perimeter. Creatures in the area can't be targeted by divination spells. Nothing can teleport into or out of the worded area, and planar travel is blocked within the worded area.
Okay. All right, so teleportation, blink, plane shift, none of that works. Dimension door doesn't work. All of that is within this box.
Hmm?
Okay. Got it. Oh, that's up. That just is up. Okay. All right. As you've done all this, Devin looks at you, the front man, and he's like been paying attention to the area, but he's kind of like secreted himself near the corner of this alley. And as you finish that spell casting, he says, "Is that all the preparation you require?"
That's about it. I just need to get them where we need them.
Very well. I will pass on the message to Lord Melio, and I will assumably see you here just shy of 9 in the morning.
That's right. Be ready.
They always are. And the front man bows to you all and leaves.
Okay. We should get rest so I can get my spell slots back at the very least.
All right. As you go back, you know the way. You go back to the shanty band. Go ahead and pull up the map. Let's go.
We look like we've all caught the flu since we left.
Yeah, you all look so much worse. The dwarf is not the one at the
Good.
counter this time. You see there is a fairly pudgy looking halfling who is dealing with other customers as you enter, and he doesn't even look at you as you go up the stairs. You guys get to your room, and it's as though there is just tension. Everyone, like, as soon as the door is closed, everyone's just, oh. Lilith is the first one to actually say anything, and she says, "There's so many fucking kindred, you guys.
Yeah.
There's so many. They're all over the place."
Is that something that Terrace has allowed you to perceive?
Yeah.
Double-edged sword.
Every time I check, it's like, yeah, there's a bunch.
Anyone surprising?
Yeah, there's some pretty homeless looking fuckers out there.
Trying to stay out of people's attention like we are.
Yeah, I guess. But if they're only doing it with consent, why do they look so shitty?
I'm
Maybe it's
sure
an
not all
act.
of them are.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that what the sheriff's about? Like, if they're doing it against the rules, then they get got?
She said they need proof.
Oh, shit, you're right. Man.
They said they also have only been doing this for a year, them specifically, so maybe the last sheriff was just garbage.
And this one's just cleaning it all up?
Maybe she's doing her best.
It is a big city. I'll say that.
That's true.
I think this is bigger than Augur City. More people, feels
That's
like.
saying something.
Yeah. Seems like this is the sort of place that the right person can make a fortune and the wrong person could die in a ditch. And across the room, Skolin just says, "Yep."
Well, luckily we're not staying for too long.
I would say it has a charm, but it's like a charm that, like, a rattlesnake has.
Those can be very cute if they're your undead ghost dog.
Hanscom looks at Skolna, and Skolna just, like, glances down at the requiem around her neck. He is cute.
See? Skull gets it.
But he's also, I don't think he's a rattlesnake. He's just a snake.
Well, no, probably not. But if he was, he'd still be cute.
Skolna shrugs. And Requiem's head just, like, bobbles with the shrug.
Yeah, he gets.
Well, Lorna's not going anywhere tonight, and she advises her group not to wander because we don't need to draw any eyes, so we don't need to.
We're on the job right now. Like,
Yeah.
it might not feel like it, but we're taking this fucking serious. So I'm
I
just
know
gonna,
you are.
I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not even gonna get fucked up.
Character growth. Lorna looks touched.
Well, I don't want to get wasted, but maybe we could split one of those bottles of mead, because that stuff is...
And Lorna will pop one out of her bag.
Oh, yeah. It's like candy. It's not quite as sweet as candy, but it's like as addictive as candy. You know what I mean?
It is pretty good.
Um,
Lorna will pull out the witch hazel bark they bought at the grove and say, "This is a precaution. It's advantage on charm, dominate, or fear effects for an hour. So we're gonna eat that just before 9."
Oh, that's right. I remember you bought all that shit from the Druid's Grove. Okay.
Yeah, this was my first attempt at preventing some mindfuckery to happen, and then I got access to all of these spells. So it may seem lackluster compared to like Private Sanctum or Magic Circle, but in a pinch, it could mean everything.
It'll help. Especially, like, if Nori gets interrupted from her counter charm, that's all that'll be keeping us, from getting got.
Hopefully, if he's in the circle, he won't be able to do anything about that. But if he has mortals with him that can go freely in and out of the circle, I would like to make
Oh,
sure that
shit.
they have no issue.
I forgot your circle prevents undead, but it won't stop if
But
he
if
has
there's
ghouls
living-
or whatever,
Right.
or allies. This fight, it might be sticky, but it really feels like the first fight that we're going through that really feels like it's clear-cut, good versus evil. Well, the portal was pretty...
Against that Hydra.
The Hydra's just a monster, right? Like
Exactly.
and the portal was full of, All right.
Demons.
This is the one that feels well, that one felt personal.
We're just good people.
We're all right.
We're just all right people.
We're all right. Is there anything you wish to say or do with your party before we proceed into the next day?
She has as good an evening as they can in a shitty little inn.
Roll me a D100.
She's generally speaking, trying to keep Skolna's spirits up.
Mm-hmm.
D100 66.
Okay. Do you take a watch?
If we all can still get a long rest in, I don't think it's a bad idea to take a watch.
Yeah, you can still all complete a long rest while you take a watch.
Yeah, she'll have at least one person up.
Okay. Let's see. For the sake of it, we'll go to the camp watch order page.
That looks fine.
All right. I'm just going to roll through these first two. Okay. You and Skolna are awoken for second watch.
Mm-hmm.
As you are, go ahead and roll me perception.
15.
Okay. Do you want to have a conversation with Skolna during your watch?
Only if she seems like she wants something to distract her. If she seems like lost in her own thoughts, then like Lorna won't pry her.
She mostly looks anxious.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to specifically RP it, but like I think Lorna just kind of just talks quietly about stories she's heard, maybe stuff from her own experiences growing, anything to just kind of take her mind.
Sure.
Give it a little reprieve from fixating.
All right. Roll me a persuasion check.
15.
15. All right. You put Skolna a bit at ease. It's clear this is a night she's been waiting for a long time, so the anxiety is high. But you do help put her to rest a little bit, and your watch passes without incident. Okay. You are awoken by Tier. At the end of his watch, you guys can complete a long rest.
Still have 11 temporary hit points.
Yep, doesn't go away.
Excellent. Ugh.
As according to the plan, you begin heading back to those alleys.
Mhm.
All right. Do you ask Nori to see you once more?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like the people were supposed to be for the meeting, because I know that she has to cast it separately to.
Yeah. She makes herself.
I don't want her to waste 2 5th level spell slots. You know.
Yeah. She makes herself look like Baron Melio. She makes you and your allies look like Rakios and Meredith. And it's,
Mhm.
It's not complicated, but she succeeds in seeming you guys, the four of you looking like the Baron and his posse, and then Skolna and Tier looking like just the same sort of like middle class commoners they were last time. And you guys make your way towards the alleys once more. 1 second. As you're walking, you're making your way northwards, and as you are, you become keenly aware that someone is walking with you.
Oh, good.
A half-orc. She looks incredibly piratey as you're walking.
Oh.
And as she's
Okay.
walking, she just goes, "Hey!"
Hello?
Don't worry. I know who you are.
That makes me worry more.
I'm with Reverie.
Oh. I think Lorna does visibly look a little more relieved. Are you just watching?
Nah, I'm Katja. I usually work around with her. But, she told me to keep an eye on what was going on.
Okay.
And, if anybody gets bit and bled, I gotta be there, and
To document it, not to help us, I imagine.
I mean, the sheriff's not allowed to make any hard decisions or anything like that. But I'll be around if things... Well, if how do I say this? If I need to step in, I will.
I like you, Katja.
I like me too. It's an advantage all of us non-kindred have, is, flexibility of
Oh,
mortality.
I see. That's good to know.
Yep.
Okay, well, you're in for a show.
Also means I can spend my free time however I like. Anyway, yep. And she just kind of monk runs up the nearby rooftops and is gone.
Oh. That was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Okay. There's a lot going on
You
here.
don't have a monk.
I don't know.
there's moving parts in the city.
Maybe we should get a monk.
Hey,
Hey,
Tier.
Tier.
Multi-class.
You're out. We're getting a monk.
I thought you were going to tell him to multi-class to a monk.
And Tier
That's
says,
way funny.
"Hey, fuck you."
Maybe we can recruit her.
Her? All right.
I mean, she's super really cool.
I mean, I'm not going to argue. Good thing you're not the jealous type, right?
Me? I am, though.
Oh, well, she's a half-orc, too.
It's true.
Oh, I see.
Do you remember when I almost cut
together
Mindy
now.
because I thought you had a thing going for her?
Yeah, I do.
Well,
I'm glad you
good
didn't.
thing I'm
That
not
would have
the jealous
gone
type.
badly.
Yeah, I see. I'm rational.
Yeah, you sure are. Especially when physical harm comes in the picture.
Lorna doesn't take it by that with a response.
As you're walking, you like round the corner into the district, and you see Devin, who one of you is currently disguised as, like steps up and says, "Baron Melio says Sir Karcerix will be at the meeting at 9 o'clock precisely, and he expects to see you there already, so be prepared."
We will be there.
Good. Just so as you know, should this mission go poorly, Baron Melio does not handle disappointment well.
Well, if it goes poorly, we'll probably not be alive. So, we'll be more disappointed with ourselves in the afterlife than perhaps the Baron will need to concern himself with.
He doesn't comment, but he bows and seems to slip away back towards the meadery. Discreetly, and by that I mean you watch him turn invisible right in front of you as he's walking away.
What time is it?
It's like 8:15.
Okay. Everybody has their witch hazel bark
Yep.
to take after we arrive at location.
You're heading there now. It's basically you're going to be there in the next 10 minutes.
Great.
So when you consume the witch hazel bark, firstly, boy is it not tasty. Boy is it like eating wood. But unlike eating wood, it does eventually disintegrate as you're chewing it, and so you can actually like swallow it. And your mouth just tastes of sawdust. It is not a pleasant experience.
Question, can I get Clava on the way there?
Roll a D100.
Clava cart? Clava cart? 56.
56. Yes, you find a clava vendor on the way.
Yes! Alright, she forces one into Tier's hands because he bitched at her the last time.
Okay. Yeah, you buy the party clava. It is going to be 7 silver. A silver a clava.
Okay.
You have
Worth
advantage
it.
on your next initiative roll. All right. And so, without further ado, we make it to the alleys. You'll notice that your party is kind of taking their positions. Skolna and Tier get higher up on the roofs and actually hide. And Lilith has taken the appearance of Meredith, who is this very finely dressed, like dress suit, mercenary-looking woman with a rapier on her belt and long black hair. She looks very severe, and like when she opens her mouth to talk, Lilith's like, "I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking ready for this. Holy shit. It feels like we're doing Tyrus's work all over.
We kind of are.
I am jazzed. As long as that word means what I think it means."
I too love a good saxophone.
Anscombe is Devon, and he like, I too am. No, I can't do his voice. All right, I'm ready.
You don't need to. Just keep your mouth shut. It's gonna be the Baron talking anyways.
That's for the best. Burke just like walks past you guys and goes into the alley.
See you later.
Whereas Nore, who is the Baron, she's like, I am the Baron Melios. Nope.
Melio.
Melio. I am the Baron Melio. I'll get
You're
it.
gonna be great.
I'll get it.
Yes, you will.
And she, like, continues practicing for the next, like, 30 minutes. Until finally, Tier says, they're coming.
Can you move, Lorna? Because I'm under the glyph thing and I can't move myself. Nope. Back. I guess I can move myself now. Yeah. She wants everybody to be at, like, god damn it, the edge of the back of the magic circle, because we don't want to be in it because they can still attack us in there.
I see. So like this?
Yeah, perfect. To basically force them into it.
All right.
Oh, I'm so stressed.
Okay. That's all right. You'll be okay. As time continues to pass slowly but surely, you see, strolling across the view of the alley is a woman with long black hair and undeniably kindred red eyes. Looks like she's not trying to use the blush at the moment, but she looks into the alley. My lord, it appears they are right here. A curious place for business, but it does avoid the eyes of the public. And as that happens, she, like, is looking in. And you hear, like, running footsteps as, like, what looks like just like, they look like bodyguards, basically. Very mundane looking people are approaching. And then finally, dark skin, short black hair, kind of scummy looking. Just looks like he hasn't bathed
Oh my
very
God.
well.
He looks terrifying. That's not Karcerix, is it?
That's Karcerix.
What?
Steps around.
He cursed the vampire?
He sure is. And he
What the?
looks
I
in
guess
and
his
says,
charisma is instilling fear in your soul.
doesn't have to be about persuasion.
Yes.
He looks in and he says, Baron Melios. It's a pleasure to finally be here in business with you. I knew you'd come around to my way of thinking. And he looks in at the rest of your group. And Nore, in Baron Melios's attire and appearance, says, I knew we could come to terms. We just needed the right motivation. She's going to roll a performance. Okay. All right. Karcerix smiles. I'm glad to see all of you are just as well as I last saw you. It's been a couple of months since the last little bit of a tiff we found ourselves in. And I was worried that might soil relations. Almost like with a flourish, Nore as Baron Melios, like, snaps her fingers and produces the illusion of a chair and just, like, Mock sits down on it and says, No. We can let bygones be bygones. Can't we? It's all about business. And I know you've been looking at this place. She's rolling another performance. Okay. Karcerix raises an eyebrow and turns around, looking at the Stitch's Edge. Yeah, I have been. It's hard to get quality clothes for, well, all my employees. Especially when our customers tear them up so rightly every time. It's all about, supply and demand, and you have the supply, and I'd really like to get it off your hands. So, we could talk about offer. You know how much I was willing to offer last time? That number hasn't really changed. Nore as Melio nods. She says, let's just say some things around the meadery have been expensive. We don't really necessarily need all of these tertiary expenses. I'd be willing to cut you a deal. And she rolls another performance. Oh, she rolled so good. Karcerix smiles and rubs his hands together, and he says, that's what I like to hear. And approaching, the other kindred steps in and holds out a small piece of parchment to Karcerix. He takes it from her, nods, and he says, what about this sort of offer? And he steps forward with the parchment extended. Which is the moment that the fucking magic circle would... the instant that happens, that is how it would work. We are going to roll initiative. So, hold on a minute.
Yeah, both the kindred are in it. As far as I can tell.
Okay. So, please have the party roll initiative at advantage. So I'm rolling Skolna, Tier, Nore.
Oh, so good. My first roll was a natural 1. Luckily, I had that advantage. I rolled a 17.14, by the way.
17.14. Okay. All right. Okay.
Skola's first!
Skolna
So
is
poetic.
first.
Get his ass!
Okay. Here we go.
I'm so nervous, Echo.
That's okay.
My god. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 members of the party with 20 dexterities. That's crazy.
The instant the magic circle kicks in, Skolna immediately climbs up over the top of the rooftop. As she does, she says, louder than you ever heard Skolna talk before. You hear her say, I hope you remember me. And she raises her short bow with this surprise attack. That's a hit. Skolna's first attack on Karcerix deals 22 points of damage.
Nice, nice, nice.
Now, Skolna is still seamed. It is not obvious who she is.
It's just like a commoner.
And Karcerix, like, rips this arrow out of his shoulder and says, "And who the hell are you?" "Someone else." Lilith, dressed as Meredith, says, and clearly not sounding like Meredith, "Oh, I'm sure you'll find out soon enough." And she steps forward. She is going to...
She knows she could go
she's
into the circle and leave it at will.
Yes, she does do that. She steps up into the circle and
Smite his ass.
and is going to do as best she can.
Come on, crit Lilith.
It's a straight roll. Does not hit the first attack. Second attack does hit. That's going to be... He's an undead, so it's a d6, and she is going to stack a smite. So it's...
Nice.
It's 11 plus 3d8. (11, 18, 23, 30 points of damage.
Woo.
He has to make a con save because it's radiant, and he's trying to resist the vulnerability to it. He does succeed, so he does not take double damage from the radiant, but he does take 30 damage. That blow hit hard, but Karcerix Manigula seems to have a lot of health at his disposal. Lilith, with her bonus action, grits her teeth. And she just points at him and marks Karcerix with a token of enmity. "For her and for Tiris," she says. And she just raises both blades, like waiting to see what he does. It's now the other vampire's turn. She sees this happen. The circle boosh, suddenly slams in like a fucking anvil. And as they are aware they're in a magic circle, she just looks at Lilith, who's in the circle with them. And the vampire says, "You've all made a mistake. Surely you know that." And she comes around, and she can't get behind Lilith to try and flank, but she will just...
Bumps into the wall.
Yeah. She will use... she will slash with these long claw-like iron talons on her gloves that suddenly spread out. And she slashes her. 19 just hits Lilith's AC.
Silvery barbs.
Okay. She misses.
Advantage to Nori, because Nori's going next.
Okay. She will make her second attack. The second attack is a 22 to hit. That hits.
Okay.
11 plus... Lilith takes 15 points of damage from the second successful hit. The Nixian vampire is then going to... Hold on. You could always help us. This does not have to be about your death. And she's going to try and charm Lilith, which she has advantage on the save because of the bark, as Nori hasn't gotten to do the counter charm yet. And she destroys it with a 25. No chance.
Eat shit, hot pants.
Lorna, it's your turn.
Ooh, okay, she claps her hands together, rubs them real quick, casts haste on Anscombe.
Okay.
And she's going to look at... She's going to look at both of them, Nori and Anscombe, and Lilith really just like, make sure you don't stay too long in the circle. And she's going to step back.
Okay.
She's actually going to take partial cover around the corner of this building. Sees Burke. Hey.
Okay, as that happens, at the end of your turn, Karcerix is going to use a legendary action. Right before you slip around the corner, he just says, "Where are you going?" And as he says that, he says, "Come back and let me get a look at you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw at advantage."
Anything outside the circle can't be possessed, charmed, or feared.
He doesn't know that. So it has no effect.
Lorna, as she like darts around the corner, she says, "Go fuck yourself."
Karcerix, like just, this doesn't usually happen. Okay, yeah, you've left his immediate area. As you round the corner, Burke's just standing there. He has like a slate that he's writing on, and he just looks up and says, "Hey." Okay. It's now one of the ghouls' turn. Hearing things go off, he runs in.
Going out as they please.
He when he passes through the walls, he just looks confused, but then runs up to Lilith and is going to make a couple attacks. That's a 2 on the die. That won't hit. And then a 23 to hit.
Okay.
Lilith takes 13 points of slashing damage from that. And that's his whole turn. It's now Nore's turn.
She's advantage.
What?
She has advantage.
Yes, she has advantage. She looks up at Skulna on the wall and in her own voice says, "Wouldn't it be nice to see who it is that's serving vengeance after all these years? I think so." And she drops the seeming. Karcerix sees all of you. Who the fuck are you? And then sees Skulna over on the rooftop. Well, if it isn't the little flower, come back to die. I'll show you what sort of scum you were worth back then. You're still the same. And he's gonna legendary action in this moment. Can spells, like projectiles, pass through the magic circle?
Yes, but every attack is at disadvantage to things outside of the circle.
Okay, got it. A surge of black energy flies through the magic circle towards Skulna. The magic circle, like, disrupting it. And the bolt, like, almost disintegrates on its way to Skulna. But... hold on.
Does this look like a particularly nasty spell?
You're around a wall. You can't see.
I said partial cover. She's looking.
Okay. Roll Arcana. Because this is not, like... it's not arcane in nature. You don't know exactly what it is off the cuff. You have to think about it for a moment.
23.
Looks like a cantrip.
No, she's then... okay. She's not trying to counter-spell it.
But a dirty 20 does hit Skulna. So Skulna's going to take... okay, Skulna takes 15 points of force damage. Nore sees this happen and she goes, "I was talking to you, you blight bastard!" And she's going to, that's going to be her vicious mockery. He needs to make a wisdom save. He rolled a 3! He's not going to burn
Great.
he's not going to burn a legendary on that, so he will take the damage. He takes 10 points of psychic damage. And Nori begins to play Counter Charm. Anscombe's turn. Anscombe is hasted. The longsword appears in his hand. And as it does, it gleams with a silvery light almost dripping from it, which it was not before. And Anscombe is not one to mince words. He steps up, and he raises the longsword and is going to bring crashing it down on Karcerix. That's a hit. The Nixian vampire is going to use interception and try and block the blow. She succeeds! The Nixian vampire steps into the blow and takes it instead. So Anscombe still hits.
Jesus.
He just hits the vampire instead of Karcerix. Which means Anscombe deals a d8 plus a d6 plus 6 plus 4 d12. Okay. Alright, so d6.
Just nukes her.
12 plus a d8. 18 plus 4 d12. Do I even have a d12 here? Yeah, I do. Hang on. Okay. The first one is 9. We're at 27. 30. 40.
Woo.
48. The radiant damage there was, I think...
Went from 27 to 48.
Yeah, was 21. So she needs to make a con save. She fails her con save. So she takes vulnerable radiant damage. So that's 27, 48, 69 points of damage in one
Nice.
strike. As the holy oil burns into the vampire, she steps into the blow and immediately is dropped to her knees by this brutal injury suddenly dealt to her.
Good job, Anscombe.
Anscombe, kicks her off of the end of his blade and just says, "It wasn't meant for you." And then he raises it and swings it at Karcerix again, though it no longer has the oil on that stroke. Oh, Anscombe misses.
Oh, he's a little thrown off his game.
Hasted action. He hits. Hold on. D8 plus D6 plus 6. You'd think I'd have these dice ready to rock. 12, 18 points of damage. And then he will... bonus action. What does he do on his bonus action? Hold on. Oh, that's what he does. I'll be back. And he just steps back, provoking from both of them. They both immediately swing at him. But Anscombe is apparently very good at defending himself. Because he blocks both attacks. Alright.
Yeah.
It's now Tierre's turn. He steps down. Not all the way down, but, into the edge of the circle. And he says, "I don't know if you know this. You don't know who any of we are. But I love that bitch, and she wants you dead. So, here we go." And he raises
That's
his
the
lightning
sweetest
bow.
love confession I've ever heard. I love that bitch.
He raises his longbow, his lightning bow, and he's going to put all 3 charges into a shot on Karcerix. Natural 20.
Sick. Oh, true love's crit.
Okay. Alright, so it's a d8 plus 3d8. Okay. Hold on. Okay, d8 plus 7. So, 15 plus 18. 33. 33 plus 3d8. 48. 33 plus 48. There we go. 33, 38, 43, 46, 50 points of damage.
Oh.
So as he's saying, I love that
Amazing.
bitch, he's drawn the bow back, and the arrow just like builds up all this lightning on it, and the arrow, just as soon as it leaves the bow, just lightning burns through Karcerix. Yeah! He felt that. Karcerix like drops to a knee for a moment.
Is
and then-
Irvine on the field?
Not yet.
Okay.
He calmed down. With Tier's bonus action, firstly he raises the longbow again and he takes another shot. Though it no longer has any more lightning because he used all its charges.
Worth it.
That's a hit. Yeah, I would say that was worth it. He hits him for 11. And then Tier says with a bonus action, "Now get him, boy." And the ground suddenly breaks next to
Good critter.
Karcerix, and Irvine emerges and is going to use the ambush attack to pounce on Karcerix.
Boy.
He has advantage, but Karcerix manages to block the attack. Karcerix will use a second legendary action in this moment after Tier's turn. He points. Oh God, what does he do? Oh. He raises his hand and imbues it with this dark energy that looks like tendrils of tentacles that suddenly spiral out of his hand. And then he turns to Lilith, who's still in melee with him. And he brings his hand slashing down. And in that moment, as he does, you see a blade just appear for just a brief moment as he slashes. And he's going to try and, well, do a lot of damage to her. Hold on. She needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. 1, 2. Okay, so Lilith takes 2d8 plus 6, 12, 18 points of psychic plus 4d6.
That's a lot of ouch.
Okay, so Lilith takes 28 points of damage in total from this legendary action. That's the end of Tier's turn. It's now this mortal's turn. He cannot get in now because of Irvine.
Kitty.
So he's going to attack Irvine. He misses. He tries again. He hits. Irvine takes 11 points of damage. It's now Karcerix's turn. He finds himself surrounded by allies and enemies, and Lilith is right in front of him. He looks around at this dome around him. This is quite the setup you all have here. It'd be a shame if it fell apart. And he's going to cast a spell magic.
Counterspell.
Okay. You do have to roll. It is higher than 3rd level.
Okay. Okay. 26?
Yeah, that succeeds. You counter his dispel magic, and he frowns at you. How far are you? 30.
I'm
Okay.
over there.
Oh, but you're outside the thing. Okay.
Outside the what?
The sanctum.
The private sanctum.
He looks at you and frowns.
Yeah, so she can't hear him.
Yeah. So he then looks to Lilith and just tries to bite her.
Oh. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. He can't always do that. All right.
But if he drains her dry, Katja might notice.
It's true. That's not how it works in combat. Okay.
Yeah, I get that, but he might break a no-no rule.
He might.
Although I don't want Lilith to be drained dry.
Yeah, that would be a problem. Okay, he hits. So now he's going to deal some damage with the Vampiric Bite. And Lilith needs to make a con save. He rolled pretty bad on damage, though. That's 10 points of damage. Lilith's con save. Natural 20.
Nice. You go, girl.
So, Karcerix restores 5 hit
First be with
points.
you.
And that's it. Bonus action. He'll save that. Okay, it's now the Mortal's turn. Mortal is going to start climbing this wall. He succeeds. He gets up on the roof next to Skolna. He's going to attack Skolna. That's a miss. He tries again. That's a worse miss. Okay. Top of the order, it's now Skolna's turn. Skolna looks at this mortal next to her, and she just shakes her head at him. Almost like pitying. And then she jumps down.
Ooh.
Bonus action disengaging from that guy. And while she's falling, she's going to use the fall to thrust with her Frostbrand rapier, coated in oil.
Wah!
She has advantage. She hits. She deals D8 plus a D6 plus 6 plus many other things. Okay, so...
Many stuff and things.
So that's 13 plus 6 is 19 plus 40, 12. So I'm going to do the 19 first. And then 40, 12. $11. 22 points of radiant damage. He's got to make a con save. He succeeds. So it is just 22 points of radiant damage. Okay. Then... Skolna lets herself blink back to the dagger that she left up here.
Yeah. She's so cool.
Like Karcerix, was getting ready to claw at her, and he just swats at nothing as she vanishes before him. It's now Lilith's turn. Karcerix
Lorna did encourage her not to spend too much time in the circle.
That's true. And she knows that this vampire has spent its reaction. So Lilith is going to make a couple of attacks. Okay. The first attack does hit Karcerix. 2 plus 6 is 10. Second attack is at advantage because of Irrivane. Hold on. It misses. Okay. So you will put a smite into that successful attack, then. Because why not?
She's the only one with Planetar blood left, right?
She has
Transfer
not...
used it, and... Oh, I used it.
She has not used it yet.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's 12 points of radiant on top of 10 points of slashing. Karcerix has to make a con save against the radiant. He fails. So that's double the radiant. So that's 24 points of radiant, 10 points of slashing. Okay. Hold on. He is bloodied. Lilith will then... Hold on. Let me look at what she's got here. Oh! She did an additional d6 because of her Mark of Enmity. Okay!
Yay.
6 more damage. And then Lilith is going to just walk past him out of the circle. He's going to take an attack of opportunity. He will miss with a 2 on the die. At the end of his turn, Karcerix is going to use a legendary action. What does the magic circle say about spells that target outside the circle? That demand like a save.
Yeah. The creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets. So presumably he can put an area of effect, and that doesn't. It's not like they have advantage on saves against it or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Then he doesn't have an area of effect he can use here, but he does. He looks at Lilith. And he just says, "You hurt. Stop that." And that is his power word, stun. And Lilith has
so
less...
what kind of effect? Is it a charm, possess, or fear?
No.
Okay.
If the target has 150 hit points or fewer, it has the stunned condition.
Okay.
It makes a con save at the end of each of its turns. So Lilith is stunned for now.
Gotcha.
I'm okay with doing that to non-player characters. Okay. It's now the vampire's turn. The vampire sees that Lilith is outside the circle and just... she, looks angry that she can't do anything about that.
I'm so glad she's not stunned in the circle.
Yeah. Okay. She's going to make an attack at disadvantage on Skolna with a Grave Strike. It could hit. It does hit. Okay. Hold on. That is going to be a D8 plus 2D6 plus 4. Skolna takes 21 points of damage. Skolna must make a con save. Skolna succeeds. Whew. You will bleed for this transgression against our dignity. And she tries again on Skolna. Still at disadvantage. That misses. Lorna, it's your turn.
Lorna she's like, I need a better angle. And she is going to, since she's out of the no teleportation square, she's going to dimension door right there.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, you know of it. You're aware of that situation. So, yes.
She scoped the whole place out earlier. That is her action. She has a bonus action she wants to use. She doesn't. She's just going to stand there. She, sees that one guy out of field, but he looks occupied, so she's just going to...
You do see this guy up next to Skolna.
True. She's gaining the lay of the land as she uses her action to dimension door. And that is her.
Okay. It's now this ghoul's turn. He just says, "No problem, boss. I can get out of it." And he is going to... he ignores Irovane, is going to climb up the roof to try and engage Skolna.
Is he going to take an attack or opportunity?
Yeah. He does succeed on the athletics, but Irovane tries to bite him. Irovane succeeds and is going to use that bite as a grapple.
Yes, good kitty!
The guy takes 9 points of damage, and the guy cannot move.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he tries to move. He gets bitten, and his movement is 0.
I got it, boss.
No, but Karcerix just says, "Yeah, sure you do." Mediocre. The ghoul looks embarrassed as hell and whips around and is going to attack Iravane, who's now holding onto his leg. Hits. Iravane takes 14 points of slashing damage. As it happens, you hear Tyr say, "Well, you don't, because you're outside of the sanctum."
I see him flapping his gums.
Tyr says, "You're doing great, bud. And don't worry, if you go, I'll bring you back with candy." It's now Nore's turn. Nore, who's playing Counter Charm, points at Karcerix. And just shakes her head. I always knew you were all guff just from the stories. And that's her healing word to Lilith.
Yay.
Because she doesn't want to burn an action to end Counter Charm. So she's keeping it up. Yep. Lilith recovers 10 hit points. But she's still stunned. At the end of Nore's turn, Karcerix is going to use a legendary action. He brings that dagger about. Get this dog out of here! And he's slashing at Iravane.
Iravane's like...
He doesn't care. Iravane does get hit, so it's a bunch of D8s. Hold on. Get some T-Dixes. Iravane takes 15 points of psychic damage. Oh, I rolled so 20 points of damage total. Oh, Iravane had 20 hit points. Iravane vanishes in a cloud of smoke. Candy. I promised candy! You hear tears. You don't hear tears shout.
I don't. He's just yelling.
Yeah. That's Anscombe's turn. He's still hasted. Lilith is stunned. Anscombe, picks her up and sets her behind him.
That's good.
As he does it, he just goes, "Excuse me." Actually, in that moment, Anscombe's going to use his bonus action and take the Scimitar of Wounding from Lilith that has the oil on it.
Ooh. Just takes it right out of her hand.
Yeah, she's stunned. She can't do anything about it. And Anscombe, raises that scimitar coated in the holy oil. And as he does, he walks up to Karcerix. And he knows this bitch used her reaction already. So he just, looks at her as he raises the scimitar. And is making an attack with it. He no longer has advantage. But he does hit. With a 23.
Pretty handsome man.
So it's a d6 plus 6. 11. Okay, plus the radiant, which is really why he's doing this. So it's 4d12 radiant damage. Hold on. Okay, the first one. 9. 12. 22. 30 points of radiant damage. He will make his con save.
Fail.
He rolls a natural 18. He succeeds. But it's still 30 points of radiant damage, which definitely hurts. Okay, hold on. Anscombe then follows up with an attack with his longsword. Miss. Hasted action attack. Hit. D8 plus D6. 13 points of damage. Action surge.
Oh! I just nutted a little.
Anscombe misses with the first action surge swing. And then hits. Okay. Another 11 points of damage to Karcerix. It's now... Anscombe's gonna stay right there. It's now Tier's turn. Tier... What does Tier do? Oh. He casts the spell Lightning Arrow.
Yeah.
I might as well lean into it. And he does as he raises the longbow. Hang on. He hits. This is going to hit both the vampire and Karcerix. They to make dex saves. Karcerix succeeds. The vampire fails. So that's D8 plus 5, 7 plus 48. 1. Wow. 3, 8, 14. Okay. I rolled real bad on damage. So Karcerix takes 7. And the vampire takes 14. It is what it is. What a horrible third level spell.
Oh. He's doing his best.
Yeah, he just rolled real bad. As the lightning, like, kind of fizzles, he just kind of frowns and says, well, that wasn't worth it at all. It's now this ghoul's turn. He's gonna climb the roof.
Let's kick him off the air.
He's gonna attack Tier. Tier doesn't hear you, because Sanctum.
No, well, sound can't pass out of Sanctum, but there's no reason it can't pass into Sanctum. I'll let the spell go.
You should. Tier gets hit for 11 points of damage. This ghoul swings again. Natural 20.
Oh, I think you're right.
Tier gets crit.
Yeah.
16. Another 20 points of slashing damage. Karcerix's turn. Okay. Karcerix fortifies himself. And he gains temporary hit points. Hold on. And as he does, he lurches toward Anscombe and is going to try to bite him.
Plus Judas AC.
Thank you. Okay, so he gains 28 temporary.
Jeez.
And then he bites Anscombe. That's a hit, a 29 to hit. Anscombe needs to make a con save. Anscombe crushes it. So Anscombe takes 14 points of piercing damage and 12 points of necrotic. And Karcerix heals for 6. The soldier next to Skolna is going to try and grapple her. So his first attack. He gets a hold of Skolna. Skolna is grappled and takes 12 points of damage.
With her acrobatics?
She rolled a 1.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yep.
So goddamn.
I mean, it's still decent, but he rolled really well. She would have had to, I think, roll a 12 to beat it. Skolna's turn. Skolna's being grappled. She's gonna fucking... Oh. She tosses the blink dagger.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. She could just go over to where Tiara is if she wanted to.
Yeah, she'll do that. She's no longer grappled. She's over here.
Fuck you, dude.
That being done, she raises her bow and is going to take a shot at Karcerix. Actually, this vampire looks pretty low. No, Skull's going to focus Karcerix. She wouldn't. Why would she ever? She has a very... She's very focused. Okay. She hits with a 22. She's going to max out her sneak attack.
Ooh.
With her tattoo.
What?
So that's 11
Yes.
plus... Hold on. I don't remember how many dice it is. Can you just do the thing? Okay, that's what I thought. I was right. It is 36 damage on top of 11. So 45 points of damage.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all gone. All right. She will then... Nope, that's it. It's now Lilith's turn. Lilith
Make that con
is
save.
stunned. She will attempt her con save. She's a beefy paladin. Natural 20. She's no longer stunned, but it is the end of her turn.
She's like, you took my sword!
Yeah, as soon as it happens, she looks down at the left hand like, Anscom! What the fuck? You weren't using it. It's the vampire's turn. It's attacking Anscom.
Oh,
Misses.
she was easy.
Tries again. Hits. Grave Strike.
Boom.
Anscom takes 22 points of damage. Anscom must make a con save. Anscom fails! Anscom takes an additional...
What?
Yeah, it happens.
What?
Turn into a bird.
What?
Takes 12 points of necrotic damage. Lorna, it's your turn.
Oh, alright. She dusts herself off after she teleports, writes her robes, and uses her staff and casts lightning bolt straight down the middle.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and Tweedledummest. That's
Okay.
a Dex 18 for favor.
Dex 18. Karcerix rolled an 18 on the die. The vampire fails. The ghoul... What's your DC? 18? He's...
18.
Hang on, I gotta check his thing. He fails.
86. I roll 27.
Okay. The ghoul takes 27. The vampire takes 27. Karcerix takes 13.
That is her turn.
Any bonus action?
Mm-mm.
Okay. The ghoul! A silent lightning bolt just comes out of nowhere from behind him. He whips around, sees you, and is going to charge you.
Oh. Oh, hi. Did you just notice I'm here?
Yeah. He slashes at
Yeah.
you. 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Yep. You take 15 points of slashing damage. He slashes again.
I need to make a con save for Anscom. One
Yep.
second. 10 is the DC.
Yep.
16 was my roll. So we're good.
That's successful. He slashes again, and I think 19 to hit.
Shield.
Okay. Nore. She is going to She's still playing Counter Charm, and I think she doesn't want to let that go. Everyone looks fairly healthy. She gives a Bardic Inspiration to Skolna. Okay. At the end of Nori's turn, Karcerix is going to take a legendary action. He is going to point at Anscombe and say, I could really use your help right now. What do you say? And Anscombe's going to make a wisdom saving throw at advantage against Dominate Person. DC is 21. Anscombe's wisdom... Oh. He rolled a 20.
Is there anything I can do about that?
You just used your reaction to shield.
I don't think my reaction could have helped with it. That anyways.
Anscombe is dominated. On his turn, he will
Is that a
act in...
concentration spell?
Yeah, it is absolutely concentration, typically.
Okay.
Nore sees that happen as a legendary action and sees Anscombe, like, turn to face her and Nore and just says, oh no. It's Anscombe's turn. He's dominated, and Nore is right there. He's going to attack Nore. He slashes at Nore with the longsword. Hold on. Yep, that hits. Nore takes 14 points of damage. Anscombe swings again. As this is happening, while Anscombe is swinging, Nore is like shouting, "Drop the haste! Drop the haste!" But you can't hear her.
I can't hear her. Well, I don't want him stunned either, because then they'll kick his ass.
He hits her with a 27. That's 8 points of damage. Hasted action. Miss.
There's that.
Hold on. Okay. It's now Tier's turn.
Just kick this guy off the roof.
He can try. He can try that. He can try an attack push.
Let it
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. The guy has to roll a contest. He fails to shove him. He'll try again. He succeeds. He shoves this guy off the roof. The guy takes 2d6 fall damage. He takes 10 points of fall
to
damage.
do with DG3 is just throw people off the stuff.
That's gonna be Tier's turn. He used his actions to kick that guy off the roof. This guy is gonna climb back up on the roof on his turn.
What the fuck?
He succeeds. And he attacks Tier. Misses the first attack. Misses the second attack. Okay, he's rattled at getting kicked off.
He broke his ankle on the way down.
Karcerix, seeing Anscombe is following his orders, just says, "Good." Now, he touches Anscombe's shoulder. Roll an Arcana check.
I don't like this. Okay.
28.
You know the somatics for modify memory.
What is this? The next round?
Yeah, it's Karcerix's turn.
Is he at the top of the order?
No, he's toward the bottom.
I'm wondering if I can use a reaction.
No, you used your reaction to shield.
Okay, then I can't do anything about this. I have no idea what he's.
In this moment, hold on. Anscombe has to make a wisdom saving throw.
This guy's brain's been fucked with so many times. Does this count as a charm? Does he have advantage?
It is a charm effect. Anscombe rolled a 21.
That's the DC, right?
That's the DC. He saves on the modifier.
What did he try to say to Anscombe?
You don't know.
But the others don't.
No, they don't. He didn't have to say anything out loud. I know. Maybe you'll find out after the session. Or after the combat. Karcerix, seeing the spell fail, scowls. And then he says, "Fine. Let me drink from you then." And he dominates Anscombe into letting him drink from him.
No.
Karcerix bites Anscombe. And he begins to drink him.
Like in earnest?
Anscombe takes 21 points of damage immediately.
Oof.
Anscombe is grappled. And Karcerix's health heals by 21. The ghoul's turn. The ghoul is going to jump to this side, drop down behind Nore, and attack. That is a miss. Tries again. That is another miss. This guy's trash. Skolna. Skolna sees Anscombe getting drank. Skolna is not okay with that. Skolna climbs down and around. She drops next to Karcerix, raising the Frostbrand rapier, and is going to attack. Hold on. She doesn't have advantage because Anscombe is not her ally at the moment. She rolls really bad. Little Skolna uses a lucky point.
Yay!
Natural 20.
That's so poetic! You deserve it, honey.
Okay. She was hidden from him. He doesn't know this is happening. Or he does now, but she got sneak attack. Hold on. Okay. 66. Jesus fuck. Alright. A D8 plus a D6 plus 6. Let me just roll that first. Eight. Plus 6. 14. We're at 14 before adding the crit. 14 plus 36 from the crit sneak. 50. Plus 66. Oh my god. I rolled so good. Okay. So, remember the number 50.
50.
3, 9, 15, 20, 25, 31.
50.
50 plus 31. 81 points of damage.
Get him, Skolna!
Skolna jumps behind Anscombe. Jumps behind Karcerix. Perfectly behind him as Karcerix is drinking from Anscombe. His teeth locked on Anscombe's neck. Skolna stabs him for more health than I think any of you have. At the moment. As Skolna thrusts...
Could survive, but...
That's good. As Skolna thrusts the Frostbrand rapier into Karcerix, the blade gets up deep into the base of his neck, the frost of the blade carving out the inside of him, freezing the dead flesh and making it shatter. As the blade bites into him, Karcerix has to roll to maintain the bite. So it's going to be a strength saving throw. The DC, he has to roll a natural 20, because the DC is like concentration. He didn't. So the bite ends immediately on Anscombe.
What about his,
The dominate person is the next. He has to roll concentration on that. The DC is 40. He fails. Anscombe is no longer dominated.
Good job, Skolna.
Skolna, yanking the rapier back out of him, says, "Do you remember me now? You drank my mama. I'll never let you forget it for the rest of your life." Karcerix's attention is fully on Skolna as he's holding the frozen wound closed, as thick black blood is slowly leaking out of it. On the other side of him, Anscombe is like, "Ugh. Ugh."
Poor guy.
Karcerix is going to immediately react with a legendary action and try and stab Skolna with the Shadow Blade. He appears to be rattled because he misses with a natural 2. It's now Lilith's turn. Lilith sees this one. Okay. Lilith is gonna plow through Nori's space, get opposite Skolna.
Yeah! Yeah! Smite him!
As she gets there, Lilith just says, "For vengeance, you son of a bitch!" And she slashes at him with advantage. And she hits with a 23. The short sword. And she's going to add a smite, because why not? It'll be a second level smite, actually, so 48. So 9. 13 points of damage. Okay, he's gonna roll a con save. Okay, he does not look good. Lilith will swing again with advantage. That's a 1. Okay, how about the next die? Okay, Lilith misses. It's now the vampire's turn. Anscombe is the lowest. Skolna is in a... Okay. It looks like the vampire is, like, looking back and forth and says, "My lord, which do I focus?" And Karcerix is, like, just staring eyes at Skolna and just says, "This one." And the vampire does. That's a hit. Skolna gets hit by a grave strike. Skolna takes 10, 15, 20, 28 points of damage. Skolna is going to uncanny dodge and have that to 14. And then Skolna's going to make the con save. Skolna succeeds. Karcerix is going to use a second legendary action to try and bite Skolna.
How dare he?
And he misses. Skolna dodges it.
Oh.
So your turn, Lorna.
She's trying to peer around the school to see what's going on in the circle. She's like, I'm really not interested in you. And she's gonna cast Lightning Bolt again. Just straight down the line.
Okay. All right.
DC 18.
Yep.
Straight through him. Heck.
Oops, sorry. 18. He rolls a 3. Karcerix has advantage. Karcerix succeeds. The vampire has advantage and fails again. Okay.
What?
It's the same result. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh, I think I rolled pretty good. 31 this time.
Okay, the ghoul in front of you is dead. Karcerix takes 15. The vampire takes 31. They look terrible. All right.
Lorna, since this guy is dead, she is going to just poke her head into the to the party so she can actually hear what's going on
Okay.
and see how
You
her friends are looking.
suddenly, it's like all the sound just comes crashing back, and
Whoa.
you see Skolna is behind Karcerix. Karcerix looks like he's critically wounded. Lilith and Anscombe are like just wailing on him. It's a bloodbath in there. Norre sees Lilith take a hit. She's continuing her counter charm. She's ignoring the guy that's trying to wail on her, and she just is going to inspire Skolna. We're here for you, girl. You got this. It's Anscombe's turn.
Revenge!
Anscombe, who's now back to his faculties, looks at Karcerix and says, I don't like it when people play with my head. And he is going to attack Karcerix. He hits.
Woo.
He deals 15 points of slashing damage. He swings again. He misses. Hasted action. He hits. 11 points of damage. Oh, you can't roll minimum. Hang on.
roll minimum, it's
14 points of damage. Okay. Karcerix is barely standing. He looks fucked up. It's
Got it.
now Tier's turn. Tier has this guy in melee with him. He's gonna try and kick him off again.
Get out of here.
Off my roof! The ghoul succeeds again. Tier tries again. Okay, Tier kicks him off again. He falls off. He takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall. You don't hear him hit the ground because it's outside the sanctum. But you do hear him go,
She just kind of cringes.
Yeah. Tier will bonus action. Does he have any bonus action he can do? He imbues another lightning arrow. He's gonna try again.
Yeah.
But it's on his next turn. This ghoul stands up, looks up at the wall, like up at Tier up there, and then turns and looks at you, and he just comes after you.
Oh. Tired of getting kicked off a roof?
I am. That's a 19 and an 18.
Both hit.
Okay. You take 10 and 12 slashing damage.
Okay, let me make 2 DC 10 rolls.
Yep.
Okay, it's a dirty 20. And a 16.
You succeed. You do not lose concentration on haste. And he's now in your face.
Hello.
It's now Karcerix's turn. He is going to lurch forward and try and bite Skolna. He succeeds.
Silver barbs.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch you, ugly fuck.
He still hits.
Advantage to the Skolna, by the
Okay.
way.
So as he bites, his teeth sink into her, right on the arm. He bites down and drinks. 12, 16, 18 points. And Skolna will make the con save. She will use the silvery barb's advantage. She succeeds. So he heals a little bit. And as he tears away, he just smiles and he says, I knew I'd taste you one day.
I hate him so much.
And then he
Pound
thrusts
his face into the dirt.
He thrusts forward with the Shadow Dagger. And he rolls a natural 20. Skolna will use another luck point to make myself reroll.
Whew. Make me self.
And that becomes... What's Skolna's AC? That becomes a miss. Became a 16 to hit. Okay. And then Karcerix is going to try and just... Why don't you just stay still for me? We can make this quick and lovely. With her blood dripping down his face, Skolna's going to make the wisdom save.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. I think she's already succeeded. Let me check. She did. She rolled a 21 on the die.
Okay.
On the die. 21. You know what I mean.
That's a nice
17
die she's
plus
got
4.
there.
Yeah, she's just cheating. She rolled a 17 plus 4. She rolled a 21. On the dot is what I was trying to say. It's now this ghoul's turn. This ghoul is going to attack Norre again. He misses. Tries again. He hits. Norre takes 15 points of slashing damage. Top of the order. Before Skolna can go, Karcerix will take a legendary action. And his legendary action is going to be... He doesn't have that anymore. Shit, hold on. Alright, he's just going to try and suggest her again. Doesn't have to be this way. And he just says, stand down, and I can make you everything you've ever wanted. And Skolna, with advantage... Natural fucking 20.
Fuck you! Eat shit!
Skolna just looks at him, tilts her head. All I've ever wanted was to be avenged. And she thrusts forward with the rapier. With advantage, because Lilith is on the other side.
Yes.
That hits. Okay, so she gets sneak attack, so it's a d8 plus a d6. Karcerix is low, but he has a lot of health. Hold on. 66. Okay, so that's 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 6 is 18. 18 plus this. Holy shit, okay. 18, 23, 27, 33, 36, 40. 43 points of damage. Skolna lurches forward, the Frostbrand rapier carving into Karcerix's mouth. She punches into his jaw, the rapier going all the way on the other side, and Karcerix is still alive and aware of what's happening as Karcerix tries to say something. With her other hand, Skolna raises the blink dagger and just slashes it through Karcerix's neck, severing the head. Karcerix is slain.
Fuck.
Skolna
I'm screaming. It's 2 a.m.
throws the head to the side on the ground, the body turning to ash before her, and she just kneels over it and lets out just this like this horrible scream into the air. And that's Skolna's turn.
Oh my god.
Seeing Karcerix slain, Lilith turns to the other vampire, and the other vampire is like, her face is twisted in rage, and Lilith just says, vengeance has been served. You're just a bonus. And Lilith is going to try and smite her as well. Okay, that hits. Okay, so it's a d6 plus 6. 12 plus smite. So 48, because I'm out of first level spell slots. 4. So 12 plus... Hold on. Okay, so 13, 15, 23. She needs to make a con save. She fails! 46 points of radiant damage. Lilith says you're just bonus thrusts the scimitar into the vampire, and the radiant energy just cracks out from inside of her, and this vampire is immediately dusted into ash.
Good job. We just got the grunts left.
The grunts, their ghoul, like their target of ghouling is gone, are immediately distraught in grief. They throw down their weapons.
Losers.
Now, what you guys do with them is up to you. But Skolna, kneeling over the ashes of Karcerix, is just like pounding her fists into the remains of it. And she just is quietly, like, sobbing. You're gone! You're gone! You needed to be gone! You fucking monster! And she's just crying into the ashes.
Skolna. She's Skolna. I'm Lorna. Jesus. Lorna is gonna go up to Skolna and just kind of drop on her knees next to her and just kind of like wrap her arms around her.
The instant you're down on her level, Skolna just wraps her arms around you and is sobbing into your neck.
She just holds her there.
In this moment, as Skolna has slain the nightmare of her dreams, that is where we're going to call tonight's session. As we come to the end of the session, I want to thank you for playing with me tonight. And to all of you who are at home and at work watching, I hope you had a good time. We ran a little long tonight. That's okay.
It was worth it.
Hi, Penny. Hi, Sleepy. Hi, Class. Hi, Emily. Hi, everybody else. We love you all. And I wish you a good night.